Hi everybody, this is Jim Carroll together with Eric Rattay for another in our Day in the Life series on Acumatica. Today we're going to describe multi-currency. First, we like an upper level on Acumatica to describe its distinguishing features. It's a feature-rich, millennial-friendly product. All the latest advances in today's technology, and that will become evident in this short demo. Secondly, unlike many products, Acumatica has a behind-the-scenes tool that monitors business events, like a 7x24 no-cost employee that updates management on key performance metrics. Finally, Acumatica every screen supports web services. It fully embraces the Internet of Things. As an example, in the multi-currency world, you might want to punch out to data conversion tables to have the latest conversion on currencies. Acumatica would fully support such a situation. But now on to multi-currency. First, it's important to note that Acumatica in its organization and hierarchy is what I like to refer to as multi. Acumatica's organizational structure starts off with the term tenant. Now, when you think tenant, think organization. And the key behind an organization is that it has a common base currency from an accounting standpoint. Under each tenant, you can have multi-companies, unlimited companies, company 1, company 2, company 3. And in this example, we're showing you Revision 2 products and Revision 2 services as separate companies. Underneath those companies, you could have multiple branches, like a retail branch and a wholesale branch, and you're able to report individually or filter, if you would like, on the branch, on a single company, on multiple companies, etc. Now, in a situation where you have multiple currencies, you would have more than one tenant. Tenant 1 on USD as an example, and tenant 2 in Euro. So 2 tenants / organizations on different currencies. For consolidation purposes, Acumatica provides you with the ability to do a translation definition, and then there's a reporting ledger. So let's say that you want to consolidate your USD tenant with your Euro tenant, and you want the consolidation to be in US dollars. You would convert the Euro in the translation definition to USD, and then in a reporting ledger, do that consolidated reporting where you would roll up, in the example I gave, all the different branches associated with the different companies that roll up into the tenant, consolidated with both tenants to fully support a multi-organization, in this case, worldwide company. So that's the 10,000-foot view. In the day in the life, what we really work with is AP clerks and AR clerks. And maybe I sell something and I'm on USD, but I'm sending it to Canada, so I want to invoice in Canadian dollars, as an example. So now I'm going to turn it over to Eric to describe day-in-the-life functions associated with currency translations for everyday transactions in Acumatica. Eric?
Thank you, Jim. First of all, let's look at the currency exchange rates. So Acumatica, like Jim mentioned, provide an ability to include Internet of Things, and one thing that we do is we can refresh the currency rates, the different currency rates that we have in the system. So I was showing you here that we can have an average rate and a bank rate and a spot rate, and you can notice here that the spot rate has this checkbox enabled, refresh online. So that means that we also have this refresh currency rate, and that is the 24/7 employee that Jim was referring to, that will wake up each day and will process this as I'm doing it manually, but this can be scheduled, so it will run every day, retrieve the different exchange rates for different currency to US, and so that you can have an accurate numbers when doing some transactions in everyday life. So
fantastic.
That being said, let's go to payables and just enter a bill. So when I'm entering a bill for a vendor, there is this default currency that will come up. Of course, depending on the vendor, I may want at the vendor level to be able to enable currency override or enable rate override if I want to input that rate manually. Let's say that I buy a contract with that vendor that the currency is not refreshed every day, and I just made an arrangement with him so I can input the rate manually. Some other vendors, I may disable that or disable this, so I will just only do business with that vendor in USD only if that is unchecked. If that is checked, then I can do business in USD or in any other currency. So that being said, because it's checked right now, I can switch to Euro as an example if I receive a bill in Euro. And you will notice now that I have this, I may put the invoice number, and you can see here that the number here, the exchange rate, came automatically. But sometimes when you
I refreshed it that morning at 2 a.m. or whatever with the automatic of Acumatica, and now the rate's 1.91 whatever. Correct?
Exactly. Yes.
Great.
So what I'll do, I'll just put a project because Acumatica highlights when there is some required field, depending on my workflow in my business. So now I've put a €1 transaction, 100 euro transaction. And the good thing about Acumatica is that you can, in any point in time, click on View Base, and then you will see the equivalent in USD. So at the top level and at the bottom as well for each of the lines that you put. So that can give you an idea, and it's very convenient if you enter the rate manually, because I've seen in the past that the person forgot to put the dot, so it was a huge exchange rate. And just before releasing it, just click. Oh, it doesn't make sense, right?
But this speaks to the feature richness of the product.
Right.
It speaks to the fact that we're taking advantage of the Internet of Things in terms of capturing the currency, and it speaks to the 7x24 because it's automatically updating Acumatica without any human intervention. And then back to features, you've got a vendor, they want to deal in this case, euros, maybe another one, Canadian dollars, etc. And that's all automated vis-a-vis the setups with Acumatica.
And just to point out, if, for example, if I received that bill today, but it was dated, let's say, March 2nd, you'll notice that when I will change the date, the currency rate will refresh. So now it's 120 because the 2nd of March it was 120 the exchange rate. So now what I'll do, I'll just release it like it is. I'll just change that first and then release. Move on hold and then release. Now if we go to the financials, the system did a batch to affect my general ledger. So we can see the batch in euro. It made 100 euro in accounts payable and cost of goods sold. If I click on View Base here again, I can see the equivalent in USD because my base currency is USD. Same thing here. See 120. So it's all the same numbers. Now what I will do, I will pay that bill. So it's the Pay button. And I will pay just half of it because I'm not too sure about if I should pay it
Don't know about this vendor, huh?
I'm not too sure
Good.
about this one. Got a strange name. So remove from old, and again, see the exchange rate is 1.19. So I can see here 59 equivalent, and I will bypass the printing of a check and release it. Oops. Like I was saying, the system always point out what is missing. So now I made a payment, and let's look at the financial batch again. So here the system added this line automatically, which is a realized gain and loss on exchange rate, because the currency that was used in my bill, the exchange rate is different than the one used for the payment because the date is different, right? So with that transaction, we actually did a gain of 75 cents because we paid only the equivalent of $59 in USD, and we paid a bill of $60 that was applied in accounts payable. So we made a little profit here. So then that being said, this is when you do transactions. So you don't have to always click on View Currency or View Base. It's just for this demo that I'm doing that. But at the end of the day, it's a couple of things that I want to point out. First of all, if I go to Inquiries and view details for that vendor, I can see all the amounts, and I can see the currencies that are different. And by default, it brings it in my base currency. If I want, I can filter for one currency. So, and I will have the all documents in that currency only, with the balance in both currency, the currency of the documents and also the currency of my business.
Nice.
At the end of the month, one thing that is very, according to the US GAAP and Canadian GAAP as well, what we need to do is we need to reevaluate the balances of my cash accounts, my AP, AR, to make sure that if the currency exchange rate has changed, then all my balances should be reevaluated in such a way that it will hit my balance sheet to the end of month or end of the period value. And so to help me out with that, I've got this screen, which is these screens that are revalue GL accounts, AP accounts, AR accounts. So if I hit here, if I click on that, select my euro, now I've got some balances. So I would have my balances for each of my vendors as an example in that. And I've got all the numbers here to help me out. So in foreign currency in euro, I've got 100 euro. This is what has been booked into my accounting. This has been reevaluated as of 31st of March, and so there is a difference of 16 cents. So when I'll do that, the system will create a transaction automatically for me, and you can notice here that there is nothing. So because I'm in euro, so it doesn't change the euro value, but if I click on View Base, then I've got my 16 cents that was done to account my unrealized gain and loss. And the system also auto-reversed that transaction for the next period. So I've got a reversing batch here, and you'll see that April 1st. April 1st, the system reversed this transaction. So if we go back here, then today we tackled the subject of multi-currency. So Acumatica will help you out in day-to-day transaction, as well as at the end of the month for financial reports, reevaluating the currency, and will also help you out with consolidation if you have organization in different currencies.
Thank you so much, Eric. This was a It's good to end on our dashboard. Both of that and just the discussion you just gave is a testimony to the functional breadth of the Acumatica ERP package. We thank you. We thank you for joining this day in the life, and there'll be more to come.
Thank you.
Thank you.